Hello, veterinary peeps. Today I want to talk to you about the term toxic positivity. This is a relatively new term. It's been talked about in other businesses probably for the last 3 to 5 years. And in fact, Forbes.com, Harvard Business Review, Inc.com all have plenty of articles on it. And in fact, you can read about it in my newest book, Oops, My Team is Toxic. So please check that out. But today I want to introduce this term to you and have you be on the lookout for it, because the reality is it does exist in probably more hospitals than not. So toxic positivity, it's so contradictory, right? You have a negative term mixed in with the most positive, literal positive term you could have. So I always talk about positivity. I exude sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns in most of the work that I do and I put out there. But I'm not delusional, and that's what toxic positivity is. For our supervisors, our managers, our business owners, this is really important that you don't fall into toxic positivity. This is where you as a leader puts blinders on and starts to ignore all the negative things, because if you believe if you don't talk about it, if you just completely ignore it, then it doesn't exist. And so when employees come to you with concerns, say, I go to my manager and I say, hi, there's a lot of negativity. We might lose a couple people. I'm really concerned because we've got a lot of gossiping going on the ground floor. How can you help me? The manager may say, you know what? I don't know what you're talking about. Our culture here at Happy Paws Veterinary Hospital is perfect. We love nothing but positivity. I mean, we just had a team builder yesterday. I don't know what you're talking about, Amy. This team is fantastic. This other term, by the way, is called gaslighting. In fact, a lot of you probably Googled this because the word of the year for 2022, one of the most searched words actually was gaslighting. So gaslighting is where one person tries to make you seem like you're crazy, even though you know you're not crazy. You know there's toxicity. You know that there's bad culture issues going on the floor. You've come to your manager and they say, no, you're wrong. That's where toxic positivity and gaslighting intersect. So this person's trying to make you feel crazy, but they're doing it because of a culture that they want. They want to be positive. They don't even realize they're making you seem crazy because you're going, no, there's definitely a lot of negativity on the floor. That toxic positivity, unfortunately, starts to come out. And this is where managers and supervisors and owners will just not talk about any of the bad things. They'll say things to me like, I don't want to tell the team that we're on the verge of going bankrupt, or that we're struggling to pay paychecks at this point, or, we have this going on. And my point is, why would we ignore that? Those are important things, and it's okay that employees know these things. It's okay to say we need to cut because we're struggling to pay the payroll, or we need to do X, Y, and Z because of this. Instead, a lot of times managers and supervisors try to shield the hospital team from all the negative stuff. And there's a fine balance, because we certainly don't want managers walking around going, oh, this place is terrible. It's going to fall down. I don't know if we can keep our doors open. Corporate won't let me pay you more. Clients are screaming. This place sucks. That's not okay for managers to do either. But there's that tipping scale. If the manager is mostly negative, that does make the team mostly negative. But if the manager is mostly positive, but completely ignores all the negative stuff, it doesn't actually make the team more positive. It will to some extent. But I always say it's like putting sugar on poop. It's still poop. It doesn't matter if you put a whole pound of sugar or a whole kilogram of sugar on that poop. It still stinks like poop and tastes like poop. It might be a little bit sweeter, but it's still poop in the end. It's gross, and I wouldn't eat poop with sugar on it, so I'm just going to throw that out there. But regardless, that is still negative. And so a lot of managers, unfortunately, they don't want to talk about those negative things. They shield not only the team, but themselves. And unfortunately, when the team doesn't feel like they can come and have an honest conversation with their manager, they stop coming to their manager. They live in that negativity because they know if they go to the manager, they're going to be shut down. The manager doesn't want to hear about anything negative. And unfortunately, you have to believe the culture, believe the vision, believe the mission, believe all of this stuff that is constantly trying to be infused. And when problems do happen, leadership doesn't want to listen. And that's what toxic positivity is. When there's so much positivity, there's such a huge emphasis on it that you need to either live it, eat it, and breathe it, or you need to get out of our hospital. We shut down our teams to actually productive, healthy criticism and conversation. It's okay to disagree, and that's important in every hospital. I should be able to be comfortable, go to my manager or my leader and have real conversations and even say to them, I think how you're leading this team may not be helpful because, and they should be open to listening. So I wanted to just introduce this concept for you. If you are in a manager role, I want you to exude positivity, but I don't want you to shut down your team to criticism. I want you to be open and available to hear those negative comments and the criticism and then act on that. And if you are an employee of a hospital where you see the glaring issues and you've gone to your leadership and they keep shutting you down because everything's perfect, everything's fine. What are you talking about? I do not see the actual dumpster fire going by me right now. No, don't you see? Everything's perfect here. If you're working in that kind of environment, then yeah, this is probably a toxic positive environment and it doesn't feel good because it's not genuine. Try to have a conversation with your leader, but in the end, find a hospital that's real, that's genuine, and that actually will listen to concerns when they do come up. Thank you so much for listening and keep on being a unicorn.